Good evening, everyone, and welcome once again to the place to be on a Sunday night, where tonight we're coming to you on Top Split TV from Long Beach. The third, I'm going to say, of our street circus this season, season 30, round 11 of Sunday Night Lights. Season's coming to a close pretty soon, Corey, but 5.3k soft says there's still plenty of interest out there on track.
Oh, absolutely, Alex. We've got 19 drivers in here, and we've got a lot of returning drivers as well, which is great to see. The Japanese stronghold has opened up its gates, and we have 4 of them back on track here tonight, which will be absolutely exciting to see, because the Japanese, when they come out here and race with us, are damn quick, thanks to Nagai-san's driving school.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. They're out in force tonight. Great to see them. Look forward to seeing how they go. Let's go through the field just quickly. We got Tim Hendrickson as car number 1 in this field tonight. The Team Torpedo driver joining us once again. Car number 2, Adam Miles from UK&I. He didn't have the best outing. In fact, our top 3 drivers didn't have the best outing in the warm-up race. I don't think any of them finished in the end, or finished anywhere where they should. Christian Perez is car number 3, although he's yet to take the track. Brett McBurney from McFlabby Racing, the leading ANZ driver, out there tonight, is car number 4, the international man of mystery for FPM Oval Matine. Dimitri Filippides, his teammate Dario Fattini, is also out there. The Italian driver is car number 6, first of the Japanese drivers for Nagai Racing School, Takumi Yamato. Yamato-san very handy, particularly in quali. I don't know how many laps he's done here this week. I think he might have done a few. There's been a few of the Japanese drivers around, and great to see them returning in force here on Sunday night. Captain 499 joins us once again as car number 8, Neil Gardner from ANZ. Car number, I've gone 10. Where's number 9? Jeff Randall for Gone Skippin' Racing. I think his teammate might be in here tonight as well. I'll have to check in a sec, but Jeff's out there once again. And now I can go to car number 10 for Team Milo, Luke Witten, one of the top ANZ drivers going around, Corey.
Absolutely, Alex. And coming up as car number 11, it's the Team Clown's boss man himself, Mr. Vasco Sorosky. Car number 12 from Bellino is Alex Streambruggen. It's great to see Alex out there on track. Xavier Sanchez, who is usually just sneaking into the field, is comfortably in the field here tonight as lucky number 13 from Iberia. We got Hiroki Shoda from Japan, the third of our Japanese contingent, as car number 14, with Team Milo bossman Russell Clark representing OzNZ, and Milo is going to be car number 15. Car 16 is going to be Kenji Kuroda from Japan as our third of the drivers, and car 17 is his compatriot Akira Nakajima. It's great to see so many of the Japanese drivers back. Car number 18, we have Chris Wayne from the UK&I, and wrapping things up, just sneaking in, Alex, with a 3.3k I rating, Alex Herder from Iberia.
Yeah, absolutely. He did sneak in. Not often we see digging so deep down into threes here on a Sunday night, but it is getting late in the season. A couple more drivers and you would have needed about 5.2 to get in, depending on how the splits broke up. But Christian Perez is now out on track. We missed him before as car number 3 for Astro Racing Team, as Filippides has set the fastest opening lap with a 1:32.5. The track conditions were a bit better in the warm-up races. We saw them dip well and truly into the 31s. But like I said, a couple of the top end of town maybe having their confidence shaken a bit by the events of last race. That and the track conditions probably not quite as conducive to those hot times. Hot tracks not leading to the hot times all the time. But Jeff Randall now has done his first lap, sits provisionally at least, Corey, on the front row.
Yeah, it's great to see Jeff right up there, and he pipped Tim Hendrickson there for provisional second, which is crazy to see, as I think everyone has at least started their first laps now. Oh no, I think Nakajima has had an issue. He's gone to the pits on his second lap, Alex, so that's probably going to be his qualifying run done. And just waiting to see if we get any more people. Christian Perez has jumped up to fourth. So we've got Hendrickson and Perez on the same row. And that's always a scary thought, as Hendrickson's about to finish his second lap. And what have we got? We have a 32.175. So yeah, the time's definitely not as quick as what they could be here tonight, Alex.
Not Shorter Sun crossing the line now. Shorter jumps up to P2. I almost said it. As Hendrickson gets beaten by miles on the timesheets. Hiroyuki Shorter. Shorter Sun has some great pace. And he's shown it by sticking it on the second row provisionally. There's a couple of folk that might give him a run for his money. Sorowski is one. He's coming around to close out his second quali lap. He gets decent drive out of that final hairpin at 11. What's he got for us, the head clown, as he comes across the line now? Has he improved? He has, but only up to P11. Wayne's crossed the line. Has he improved? Not a great deal. Still on the final spot on the grid. Now it's all eyes on Perez as he comes to close out his second flying lap. It's gone by quickly. 33.7. No, 32.5. Only good enough for seventh, Corey. Very surprising from young Perez.
Indeed it is, Alex, and it looks like Nakajima was not the only one to have an issue on their second lap. Alex Herter as well, unfortunately, dodging out of his second lap, down in 17th.
Yeah, that's going to tickle. Well, it's going to be hard to move forward in this field. Adam Miles starts on pole, though, folks, for round 11. Season 30 of Sunday Night Lights. Alongside him will be Team Torpedo's Tim Hendrickson, looking to see what he can to get in front and get away. Hiroyuki Shorter, what a return for the Japanese driver to hit racing with us here on a Sunday night. He starts from third. Alongside him on the second row will be FPM Oval Matines, Dario Frattini. Jeff Randolph gone skipping racing, starts out of fifth. Alongside him on the third row of the grid will be Dimitri Philippides, the other Oval Matine driver. Astro Racing Team's Christian Perez starts out of seventh tonight. Alongside him will be Team Baracus, Alex Steenbruggen. Ninth off the grid will be second Japanese driver for Nagai Racing School, Takumi Yamato. Brett McBurney for McFlabby Racing starting out of 10th. 11th will be Team Clowns, Vasco Sorowski. Captain 499, Neil Gardner, out of 12th. 13th tonight will be Luke Whitten for Team Milo, starting out of 14th. Alongside him will be Xavier Sanchez. 15th off the grid tonight will be Japanese driver Kenji Kuroda. Akira Nakajima for Nagai Racing School starts out of 16th. Alex Herte from Iberia out of 17th. Team Bossman for Team Milo, Russell Clark out of 18th. And last off the grid tonight will be Chris Wayne, who is, of course, Randall's teammate for Gone Skippin' Racing, as just about everyone on the grid, Corey. Another 15 odd laps as tonight as the drivers get ready. Fred, the flag marshal's ready. The red lights are on. The green lights, well, they're not there. The green flag is waved by Fred, the flag marshal, vigorously in the background as the drivers head down to turn one.
That's right, and it's immediately Adam Miles in the lead. Everyone single filing out here for the first part of the lap. And then they fan out coming out of that first sweeping corner, which isn't really a corner. It looks like Hendrickson is going to take the lead as we come through turn number one and into the fountain section, turns 2 and 3. And for the most part, it looks like everyone has survived. A couple of side-by-side moments going through the fountain section. It's always scary on lap number one, Alex.
100% as Hendrickson leads him. Oh, and it's Frattini kissing the wall on the exit of turn 5. So common, and 3 wide behind. 2 wide now they go through turn 6 and 7. And what that means, though, is that mistake from Tini's backed them up behind him. Single file, they might go through the corners, but up in front and away is Hendrickson and Miles. The chief rival, Perez, is buried deep in this pack. He, of course, leading the season coming into this one with the most wins of any driver in the field, is really looking to move forward in this one, but he's going to have his work cut out for him, Corey.
Yeah, he absolutely will, Alex. This is going to be a tough field, especially up the front. But there is a couple of drafting zones here that will assist him a little bit, especially this long main straight with that sweeping right-hander just after the start-finish line. But in saying that, you know, that's not really a corner. I don't know why it's not a corner, because it's quite visible on the mini-map at the very least. But these guys putting it all on the table right now. As Tim Hendrickson has only got about 0.2 of a second over Adam Miles, so it's not even going to be smooth sailing up here at the front, because Adam is one tenacious competitor, and he just missed out on the win in the warm-up race, Alex, because he forgot to refuel the car after quali.
Yeah, no, that's a tragedy. Beautiful move by Perez on Randall. Randall, all sorts of sideways and what have you coming through turn one in behind the hard-charging Perez. Perez has now, of course, moved forward in expectation or attempt to get up the front with the front pair of Hendrickson and Miles. Miles tucked in behind the blue and orange Team Torpedo car of Tim Hendrickson. Not just hanging on, I would suggest. He's got good pace, but certainly not getting in the way as they try to establish a lead, Corey.
Yeah, that's right, Alex. The best thing for Adam Miles and Tim Hendrickson right now is that they already have a 2-second gap over Frattini, and they're just going to look at extending that even more as this race goes on, because they don't want anyone else involved in this battle, and they're hoping that Frattini can hold off Perez for as long as humanly possible, because if Perez hits the front of this second little grouping, then they'll probably have half a chance of actually catching up, as there's so much smoke from lockups and spinning wheels going through the hairpin, turn number 11 to end off the lap. It's amazing that these tyres can hold up to the punishment so much, but these little skippy tyres are just something else, aren't they, Alex?
They are. There's a bit of action coming out of the final hairpin. Let's see what happened there. Oh, Clark hits the wall on the exit. He got on the gas a bit early. Oh, then it's all got hippy and shouldery out the back after that one. Yeah, but you're right. I think Perez is in behind Frattini. As I grabbed that replay, I was half expecting him to have gone past Frattini into turn one, but you're right. Miles and Hendrickson away. Miles, I suggest doing, like I said, better than just hanging on, but possibly leaving his attacks to later in the race, because at the moment 2.5 seconds is almost where they're at. They're about 2.3, nearly 2.4 seconds. I don't know that Frattini's got the pace to bridge the gap. I reckon Perez might. It's going to depend on how many laps he's put in, but then look at this long string of skippies up the back straight on the run down into turn 9. Beautiful run. Perez set the fastest lap last time round with a 32.6. But Hendrickson will have something to say about that this time round, Corey.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Hendrickson wants to be the fastest on track every single lap. So let's see what kind of a lap time he'll put in this time. Last lap he did a 32.718, and he got Adam Miles right up on his gearbox, just about 0.3 of a second between them. I think Adam's just taking it super easy right now. He's not fighting because he knows that these guys are extending the gap. And we've got a 32.340 from Tim Hendrickson that time, undrafted. It's just amazing speed right now, Alex.
Absolutely. As we see, Perez does make the move, somewhat unchallenged between he and Frattini. Oh, big into the wall. Swarovski behind it. It's all happening. Oh, can I get a better shot of that? Oh, there's cars parked everywhere. It's like the local shopping centre. And Swarovski. Oh, I think, was that Clark in the middle of it again? Oh, no, that's a separate incident. Clark's had an accident all on his own. That wasn't the one I was looking for. But he's...
That was Alex Steenbruggen.
Yeah, oh, he's just done a loop-de-loop out there, last corner. Let's go check out what happened here. Steenbruggen coming in. Oh, I got to find him. Oh, side by side with the 4 car of Brett McBurney, who they collected, and then nowhere to go for Swarovski and Witten, and over goes Steenbruggen, over and over and over again. Can I get a better angle on it? Oh, side by side through turn 1, McBurney and Steenbruggen. That's end of their nights, and there won't be some happy folk there. Meanwhile, back up at the front, Hendrickson and Miles continue to run away. Perez now, he's out. He's down by 2.6. Perez in clean air, though. Set the fastest lap. He was, in fact, 2.5 tenths quicker than Hendrickson last time round, Corey. That's motoring.
Oh, absolutely, Alex, especially with how hot the track is right now. 33 degrees Celsius on the track temp, 24 degrees in the ambient temp. So the conditions are not conducive for fast times. But Christian Perez doing everything he can to try and close up this gap. He still has a lot of race to do it, but time will ultimately be the limiting factor in that.
Potentially, mate. He's got 11 laps. I reckon if he's... Yeah, I reckon, mate, he's still 2.5 behind this time round. But if he pulls back a couple of tenths every lap, oh, yeah, you're right. He might still be a bit too far back. Never know. You never know what happens in a big city. In a big city we are at this week. Adam Miles now, what's he, 4.5 tenths behind, closing up the back straight on the run into turn 9. Perez now leading the merry band or the train of followers as they run through turn 9. Great fun corner when you get it right. Through there you kiss one of the many high ripple strips that unsettle the car through there, but it's a beautiful angle, third gear corner if you get it right. As the guys now coming up the front straight to finish round out lap 5 and start lap 6 of 16. I sold it one short. I said it was 15. It's 16 laps here tonight, Corey.
Yeah, that's right, Alex. And Tim Hendrickson had put in the fastest lap of the race once more, but that just very quickly got eclipsed by Dimitri Philippides, who was the first one into the 31s with a 31.968. So these guys are starting to find some pace on this hot track that we didn't think was probably going to be there. So everyone absolutely driving the limit right now, putting these tyres through all kinds of torture. But they still got to watch out for those higher curbs on the inside of the corners, Alex, because it's very easy to do yourself some suspension damage when you're pushing that hard.
Yeah, that's it, mate. It is very easy to do around here. The curbs, they're not painted on. There's some big sawtooth style curbings that you have to attack to be fast around here. Now that fastest lap by Philippides, of course, set in this long snaking train of skippies or chain of skippies. As we see Miles and Hendrickson, see that beautiful attack angle into turn 9 that we mentioned previously. Miles now a lot closer as we come through turn 11. As you say, it's leads onto the main straight, which has got the biggest curve in it I've ever seen for an unnumbered or unnamed corner. But it's all flat in the skips, of course. It's all flat in most cars, I would have thought. So I suppose what's the difference between friends as we see Adam Miles sets a 31.9 and looks to make his move into turn 1. Hendrickson going to challenge him. No, lets him through. That'll slow them down a bit. Perez is still that 2.6, but he gained nearly a full tenth. In fact, he did a tenth and a half by that move. 2 tenths now. He's closed up on the leaders just through that move through turn 1 made by Miles to get his shot out front, Corey.
Yeah, that's right, Alex. But up ahead of the leaders, about 2 seconds in front of them is going to be the soon-to-be lapped car of Alex Steenbruggen. And Alex is normally a really good driver. He will get out the way for them. But it depends on where our leaders will catch him as to whether they're going to lose any time from him. Because it's very easy, especially on a street course like this, to catch a lap car in the very wrong place. And it ended up costing you some vital tenths of a second, Alex.
Yeah, speaking of tenths of a second, Perez has caught 4 tenths of a second this lap. Adam Miles in seeking to... He set the fastest lap previously. It was in Hendrickson's draft. They'll be watching the relative. Question is, as Perez starting to gap the drivers behind him, he's out to 9 tenths. He's out to, just on the full second almost from the drivers behind. Frattini will make a bit of ground in this draft up the front straight or the start-finish straight. But Perez absolutely flying. What's he done there? A 31.8 to set the fastest lap to... Adam Miles is, or more importantly, Hendrickson's 32.48 0.6 of a second quicker than Hendrickson last lap round in Miles' draft. This race ain't over yet, Corey.
No, it's definitely not, Alex. And especially with them catching up to Steenbruggen, this could end up being an absolute three-car fight for the win. And we both saw what happened in the warm-up race, so things could get spicy between Hendrickson and Perez. They do have a history, and we hope that it doesn't end up becoming spicy, but it could lead to some very good racing as well, as Yamato's-san, on his return to SNL, Alex, has put in the fastest lap of the race, a 1:31.764, if you don't mind.
Yeah, the Japanese driver, Shorter, just in front of him. Shorter-san in P7 at the moment, down 4 from where he qualified, but loves his Skippy racing. Yamato-san similarly, and he's up 1 position from where he qualified. The 2 Japanese drivers running in 7th and 8th respectively, actually dropping McBurney. Doesn't look to be carrying any damage as McBurney, but certainly having his struggles there tonight. Gardner, Witten and Sanchez glued together. Oh, well, that's a bit of I think that looked like a netcode contact there for Witten. He'll get overtaken by Sanchez up the front straight. Gardner moves over to immediately give Sanchez some draft to make sure of it. Make a bird of it, as it were. Alex Hurte running a lonely race in his purple car down in 13th. Chris Wayne, the second, or the teammate of Jeff Randall's and Gone Skipping Racing. He's running with Nakajima-san from Japan down in 17th. Kuroda-san running a lonely race. They're down in 16th, as is Russell Clark, who's had a couple of adventures at the turn 11 hairpin tonight. Hasn't been his favourite corner on the track. Steenbruggen, as you say, he's now been lapped, as we can see by our leaders in Hendrickson and Miles, and then of course running around at the back there is the head clown after being caught up in that earlier incident between McBurney and Steenbruggen. Vasco Sorosky. Meanwhile, back up in front, Steenbruggen in a leader's sandwich, the front 2 in front and the rest behind, doing his laps. Perez now with Hendrickson back on front, that gap back out to 2.4 seconds. It was just over 2 seconds at one point, but now Hendrickson's back on front, setting the fastest lap with a 31.6 last time round. Certainly putting his stamp of authority on this one.
Oh, absolutely, Alex. Tim Hendrickson is showing all the pace right now, as he just puts in another 31.6. And Steenbruggen could actually be maybe a little bit of an assistance here to Christian Perez. If Perez can get him on one of these straightaways, he'll get that little bit of a draft, and that'll help him close in a little bit on our leading pair. But we'll have to wait and see how it's going to play out, because again, if Perez catches Steenbruggen in the wrong place at the wrong time, then he's going to lose some vital tenths, and he'll be absolutely out of this battle. But Hendrickson and Miles absolutely pushing the limits, both of them just about hitting the wall on the exit of turn 5 there, as the attitudes of the skippies as they fly around this bumpy street course is just absolutely amazing to watch, Alex. They're getting sideways just about every corner, but as the track starts rubbering in, they're just getting faster and faster.
Yeah, that's it, mate. We're right on board with Steenbruggen, who has got Perez chasing him down. Steenbruggen's no slouch, of course, but yeah, he's struggling. Is Perez now to get back on? But Perez is he will use the draft once he gets there with Steenbruggen, but he's not quite there yet, I don't think. And meanwhile, Frattini's starting to put pressure on Perez. He'd almost gapped him. He was nearly a second gone, but Steenbruggen moves out of the way. So much for that idea in terms of draft, at least. Meanwhile, up front, Hendrickson does a 31.6, towing around Miles for a 31.54, which is now the fastest lap of the race. The tyres are in with 6 laps to go. Their times will keep tumbling at this rate, Corey.
Yeah, absolutely, Alex. It's also the fuel burn as well. The more kilos they shed in fuel, the faster they'll be. And with the tyres being as gripped up as they are, these guys are going to be putting in times that we were expecting to see in qualifying. In fact, they're doing that right now. but it's just going to get so much faster, especially with the draft. And Hendrickson still leading the way right now from Adam Miles as they go through turns 6 and the Phantom 7, heading into turn 8. And this is one of the opportunities maybe we'll see later on Adam try to make a move going into turn 9. It's not the longest of straightaways, but it's definitely one where you can just get a little bit of a draft advantage as they go into the third gear right-hander, just clipping the curve a little bit. It spat Hendrickson out a little bit wider than it did Miles, but Miles absolutely on his gearbox as they come through the hairpin. And as we're about to finish lap number 11, Alex, it'll be just the 5 laps to go. And these guys are going to start getting a little bit frisky for the lead, I do believe. And this could be Perez's advantage as these guys start to fight. And here goes Adam Miles now, looking for the move on the inside into turn number 1.
That he is. And it looks like he might have it. Oh, Hendrickson braking deep, but nah, he gives it up. And Miles then takes it and takes it well as they come now through the oval section and back out through the start of lap 12. I reckon I found where they put that corner. You know, they didn't put the corner in the middle of the main straight there. I reckon they put an extra number, turn 7 there. Because you're right, it's a Phantom. There's no corner there. They've just moved the one on the main straight over there so they could call it a straight. That's what I reckon happened anyways. Hendrickson now putting all sorts of pressure over Miles as they start to think about strategy for the remaining lap scoring.
Yeah, well, that's right, Alex. Right now, it's all going to be the big dance of where you're going to make the move, when, and how effectively you can pull it. Adam Miles leading away right now. He'll be thinking about all the ways that he can try and defend from Tim Hendrickson. And on the front straight, that's going to be very difficult. He's going to have to maybe move himself to the left side of the track so he can defend into turn 1. But that's going to leave him very open on that curve going over the start-finish straight. So it's going to be one of those difficult ones where you have to really think about it and put your car in the perfect position for the track that you're on.
That's the one as Hendrickson now looks to do the same thing as Miles did last time round. Pulls to the outside of the no corner, pulls to the racing line as Miles lifts to let the blue and orange torpedo of Hendrickson go through to lead another lap. Jeff Randall in the midst of this Perez-led train of now just 3 cars of Hendrickson, Frattini and Randall. Sets the fastest lap with 31.5, although Philippides, dare I say, he might still be in this pack. He's about 8/10 off the back of Randall. Shorter and Yamato have caught up. I thought they were off the back running just between themselves. But now essentially we've got in draft range of each other the top, well, we're talking 3 days, so about 5 cars. I don't know that they're going to do much swapping of positions. Kind of strung out like Brown's cows at the moment, but the battle will certainly shape up between Miles and Hendrickson as this one rounds out. As when we cross the line, Corey, there'll be 3 to go.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Alex. And the gap between Miles and Perez sitting at about 2.4, maybe 2.5 seconds at the moment. It did close in a little bit from 2.6 on the previous lap. So these guys definitely, with their fighting, starting to slow down a little bit. There was a big lockup coming out of the hairpin, and I think that came off of Perez's car. Could have been maybe a little bit of network just making my computer think that he was drifting his way through. But definitely a lot of tyres were going through there. Made me think for a second that something was going on. Adam Miles choosing not to go for the move this time. Sticking in behind Hendrickson. Maybe just trying to protect that gap a little bit, Alex.
Yeah, but Frattini certainly making his intentions known as he just slightly showed the nose on the inside of Perez on the run into 1. Sanchez 3 wide now, goes up the inside of Gardner with Witten on the outside. Gardner keeps a very tight line. Make sure there's no contact as they come around the fountain. This pack battling for P10. Last spot in the top 10 as Sanchez leads them around. Witten now on the tail end of this one. Nice driving there from all involved. Oh, very wide from Sanchez there on the exit of 5. Very easy to do. You got to cut and cut a lot there. Can cost you a lot of time if you don't do that. Meanwhile, back up front, approaching another lap car. That looks like Mr. Clark in front of Hendrickson. Yes, I think it is, as Hendrickson rounds that sweeping turn 9 once again through 10. Talking of sweeping, this thing sweeps on forever, and then the smoke you see coming through this hairpin is as they often light it up coming off the inside curbing. This time Perez absolutely using every bit of the track and maybe even rubbing the wall on the exit of the final corner there, Corey.
Yeah, he's definitely trying to push hard to not only defend from Frattini, but try and close up this gap a little bit to our leaders, who are now side by side coming down to turn number 1. Very deep on the brakes goes Tim Hendrickson, but it looks like Adam Miles has the advantage. Still side by side as they head into the fountain section, and it's definitely going to be Hendrickson coming out of it with the lead, Alex.
Yeah, Hendrickson showing that he's not going to give up without a fight, even though there is one more remaining after this one, looking to position himself in front. Sometimes it's easier to lead and have to defend because the guy's still got to make a pass, and it is very difficult to pass here, as we just saw with between our leaders there. Miles looked to really have it stitched up with the run up the main straight. Beautiful draft. Of course, the draft is such in the skippies these days that it's not just a foregone conclusion. It'll get you in a position where you can make a pass, but you've still got to earn it. As in the background, we see Perez really unchallenged at this stage. He's too good through some of the technical sections through the first couple of sectors to be threatened through the closing stages. Of course, you can have a look through turn 9 and then ultimately on the exit here, of course, of the final corner, if you get the drive right, as we see once again, someone clipping the inside of that final corner and lighting up the rears, and that'll be killing their drive. Now, this is the race for the win. Adam Miles looking to move up the inside. Hendrickson shown that he can defend around the outside of turn 1. This time, though, Miles gets it done on the run into one. Perez, Randall and Frattini go side by side. The rear of the Oval Martine car getting very loose behind, and now he's defending from his teammate. Hendrickson off the back of Miles. Can Miles win his 3rd SNL? He was always the bridesmaid. He's won. Oh, Hendrickson, I think he's picked up a slowdown and Miles is away. What's going on behind? Perez has got the podium stitched up. Randall, he's looking for a 4th position. Frattini and Philippides, the teammates, go side by side. Frattini defends, and they're still side by side, the 2 Oval Martine cars. Now they get it sorted. Frattini sets up for the run down the back straight this time round. More importantly, Philippides, what's he got for his teammate as they come up the back straight for the final time? Frattini moves to defend. Philippides moves to the outside into turn 9. Frattini will have it all over him as they go line astern. It'll all be down to the run out of the final corner. Hendrickson is out of it. Miles is gone. Hendrickson and Perez, they seem to find each other on the track each and every week, and once again they will find themselves here at the end as Adam Miles crosses and wins his 3rd race of the season. He hadn't won one before coming into this season, Corey. We always called him the bridesmaid, and this season he's won 3. Can you believe it?
Oh, I absolutely cannot believe it, Alex. Adam Miles has been on an absolute tear this season. 3 wins and just about as many podiums as well. And he's just really stepped up this season. It's great to see him, and he's one of the just one of the good guys. Honestly, it's great to see him out there doing well and getting wins. And I can't say enough about him. He's definitely thrown away that bridesmaid stress, and he's showing us this season that he's going to be a force to be reckoned with in the future seasons to come.
Yeah, that's it, mate. He sure is. Sorowski's, I think everyone's. Who's left? Kuroda. He's the last one to finish. He's coming up now and just rounded out this one. What a fantastic effort there, Adam Miles. He was in and about the front the whole way through. He stuck it on pole ahead of Hendrickson. They finished 1-2 in the end as well. Fantastic effort by all concerned. Now I'm going to grab the right camera and then I'm going to check out the results For round 11 from Long Beach, season 30, Sunday Night Lights, Adam Miles taking out a fantastic victory here tonight. The UK and I driver doing a fantastic job showing pace and skill up there with the best. Team Torpedoes, Tim Hendrickson was in it up to his eyeballs until what looked to be a slowdown right in the death cost him a chance at coming back. But the move of the race, really, the story of it was into turn one there. Miles getting enough of a drive out of the final corner to be clear and uncontested into turn one, and then the pressure perhaps forcing a mistake from Hendrickson. In the end, getting a slowdown and finishing second. Christian Perez fought all night to ultimately be right on the tail of his chief rival in Hendrickson, but finished as in third with a strong podium for the Astro Racing Team driver, who was up 4 positions from where he qualified. Jeff Randall, gone skipping racing. He will be chuffed with P4 on the big stage here tonight. Congratulations to him. Dario Fattini won the Ovaltine battle and leading the battle of the chocolate drinks as well. Frattini finishing 5th ahead of Dimitri Filippidis, his teammate, in 6th. Those two showing that there were no team orders and they were battling to the death. Hiroyuki Shoda for Nagai Racing School, the leading Japanese driver here tonight. He was down 4 positions, qualified strongly, was unable to back it up in the race. However, his compatriot Takumi Yamato for Nagai Racing School, he was up 1 position from where he qualified. Not as strong as he would normally do, but certainly left it all out there on the track, as did Brett McBurney for McFlabby Racing, the leading ANZ driver here tonight, finishing 9th, ahead of Team Milo's Luke Whitten in 10th. Xavier Sanchez from Iberia, he's finished in 11th here tonight, ahead of one captain 409 Neil Gardner from ANZ. He's finished in 12th, rounding out the SNL point scoring positions. Alex Hurte from Iberia has finished in 13th, ahead of Gone Skipping Racing's Chris Wayne, who I believe makes his second appearance here on a Sunday night, finishing in 14th. Akira Nakajima from the Nagai Racing School, the third of the 4 Japanese drivers in the field tonight, finishing 15th. Just ahead of the 4th, Kenji Kuroda-san from Japan, finishing in 16th. Russell Clark, the third for Team Milo, down in 17th after having his woes in the final hairpin show through tonight. Alex Steenbruggen for Team Baracus, of course, caught up in that incident with McBurney, finishing all the way down in 18th. And similarly, the head clown for Team Clowns, Vasco Sorosky, was also caught up in that unfortunate incident. He's all the way down in 19th, with his woes this season continuing, Corey.
Yeah, that's right, Alex. I feel really bad for Sorosky. He just can't win a trick right now, and he's another one of the really good guys in the Skippy community, and his results are definitely not showing of the skill that he has. But hopefully, with our final round next week, he will be able to pick himself up and maybe show us a thing or two on the newly scanned VRR track. But what a great race altogether. These guys left it all out there on the track, absolutely. And as you said, I reckon the pressure maybe got to Hendrickson a little bit there, as he was trying to cut as much of turn 5 as he could, but he just cut it that little bit too much, picked up the slowdown, and that was all she wrote at the end of the day.
Yeah, mate, very fine margins between flying through there and picking up that slowdown, and unfortunately for Hendrickson, that was the story of his night. Now, we will bring in our race winner, Mr. Adam Miles. Adam, congratulations, mate. I think I called in the night. That's the 3rd win of the season after goose eggs all round. He's come up with a hat trick this season, mate. I bet that feels good.
Yeah, second street circuit, third win, but second on the street circuits. I'm gonna have to start putting more of these on the calendar, I think. We'll do Belle Isle, we'll do Chicago. Yeah, that was really good. Did the hard work in qualifying. I don't know if you caught any of the warm-up race, but I had an awful qualifying and then put 2 gallons of fuel in and had to pit halfway through while leading. So it feels like I made amends for the warm-up race there.
Yeah, mate, we did catch a bit of that. We were watching in the background, and yeah, there was all sorts of strife up front, and it was, of course, unfortunately self-inflicted. But, mate, at the end of it, must have got the drive out of that final corner coming into the white flag, because you were clear by turn 1, which is not easy to do here, and certainly set yourself up for the win in the end.
Yeah, I was actually surprised because in seasons past, that last hairpin has been my weakness. I've tried everything to kind of take a tight line, take some curb, blip the clutch, do wide line, narrow line. I could never seem to do anything that would sort of match the other top guys. But throughout that race, I was kind of consistently about 0.3 behind Tim coming out the corner, which is enough. And then it was just a case of picking and choosing my battles. I didn't want to try and make a move every single lap, but when I did, Tim just came back past at the end of the following lap. So waited until 2 to go, gave it a go. We went 2 wide through the fountain, gave that one up, and then had another go on the last lap. And I think in the end, it looks like Tim just sort of rubbed the wall and missed the turn 5 apex, and I was scot-free, home free after that.
Yeah, right. Wondered if you got the slowdown, but it's just as easy then to brush the wall as we see Bettini in the background doing the same on that one, which really set you guys up to run away. So, listen, mate, congratulations. Very pleased for you having a very strong season, some great results after missing out so frequently in previous seasons. Well done. Congratulations. Onwards and upwards as we round out the season, mate. Anyone like to give a shout out to tonight?
Just yourselves as always. Brilliant broadcast, and I'll be watching it immediately as soon as we're done here.
Yeah, beautiful. All right, mate. We'll talk soon. And thanks again for the support. Look forward to seeing you again soon.
Thanks, Alex. Corey.
There you go, Corey. That was one Adam Miles, our race winner tonight, with a fantastic job out there. He drove the wheels off it, drove smart, and came away with a win.
Yeah, absolutely, Alex. And as you just heard him say there, he didn't want to battle every single lap because he knew deep down inside if he tried to battle every single lap, that would have just drawn Perez into the battle, and it would have just become, a huge battle with everyone down to fifth or sixth. So he's got a very smart head on his shoulders. He's got a lot of really good racecraft, and he showed it out there tonight with waiting for the very final couple of laps to really seriously try and put a move on Hendrickson there. And, it just goes to show, practice doesn't make perfect, but practice definitely makes better. With how many seasons we've had Long Beach on the schedule for, he's just been consistently getting better and better at that final hairpin. And we saw here tonight that he's got it down to a pretty good art right now. I wouldn't say fine art, but it's a pretty good art. And he definitely put in the hard yards to get the win. And I think we're going to have to start calling him the street track specialist, honestly, because with his results at Chicago and his result here tonight, it's hard to not call him the street track specialist.
Yeah, mate, he seems to have got him stitched up pretty well. But we mentioned Perez. Let's grab our third place getter tonight, Mr. Christian Perez, up in the box. Mate, you didn't qualify well. You had your work cut out for you here tonight, but you drove so strongly there. Just couldn't quite catch him in the end, mate.
Hello, Corey. Hello, Alex. Today was a little bit tough because my quality was not good enough. So I had to overtake some guys at the beginning and then had some luck to have a really decent pace. I didn't have much confidence, but I was getting faster until I had two scary moments on the turn that curve that everyone knows.
Yeah.
And then I just realized that I had to finish this race. And P4 it was good, and P3 is very, very, very good for the championship. So perfect.
Perfect. Very good. Yeah, mate. It looked like the hard work was done early getting through some. As we see, it checks up so much at that hairpin. We're just looking at the shots at the moment. And look, but the pace was there. It's so easy to make mistakes here that can unsettle and take out and end your evening.
Yeah.
So, because you've got to be so committed here as well, of course, as you do at all street circuits. But fantastic drive once again, mate. Really pleased to see you putting it all together. You got the most wins of the season, of course. Strongest position coming into this week and some more solid points again this round. So congratulations on the season you're putting together, Christian. Is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to today?
I want to congratulate Adam for pole and win, and to everyone in Virginia, because it's going to be a really final good championship.
Yeah.
Because I think that there are three people that can win, and we need to do some math to know where we have to be. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
good. It's going to be very very cool, the next SNL and the Finnish one.
Excellent. Yeah, I agree, mate. I think VIR will be a great race and a great way to finish the season, mate. So congratulations again, and we look forward to seeing you then.
Okay, ciao Alex, ciao Cory.
Ciao, ciao. All right, that was Christian Perez, P3 here tonight, and he's right. We're off to VIR next week, which will be an awesome event, Corey.
Yeah, that's right, Alex. The newly rescanned VIR Raceway. We were just talking about it before the broadcast kicked off. It's got a little bit more runoff in certain areas, and it could potentially be a little bit more flowy, which will be exciting. But as Christian said, it's going to be like a three-way battle for the championship here, and it all comes down to VIR. So I'm really excited to see it, and you could hear that he was playing the smart game there in this race. He was pushing hard to begin with, but once he got into third and realised that he couldn't catch our leaders, he just settled and was trying to consolidate that third place finish. So he's another one who has a very, very smart head on his shoulders. And I look forward to seeing what he can do with VIR, especially with it being the rescanned model, because it's definitely going to be a really exciting way to end our season.
Yeah, that's it, mate. The rescan has really opened up that course. You can really take some different lines and turns it into a different track. So looking forward to seeing how that one goes. But for now, we'll bring up our fifth place getter here tonight, leading chocolate drink challenger pilot out there, Mr. Dario Frattini. Dario, mate, there was a bit of action out there. I thought you were
nice title.
Yeah, mate. I thought you were gone on lap one there, but you hung on and you fought back to get up to P5, mate.
Yeah, man, that was a long race. I had a bit of a moment in turn 5, and I went to counter steer, and the force feedback kicked the wheel out of my hands.
Ouch.
So I just went straight into the wall, and the car was just sideways then for the whole race. I was just hanging on, and I was hoping Christian would overtake me earlier so I could use his draft a bit. Because I don't know, I haven't checked, but I think my front wing was bent as well, because I was losing a lot of time on Jeff on the straights, and I almost did it. And then just on the last lap, I pushed a bit too much on turn 1 for the condition of the car, and I went too much sideways. I managed to save it at least, and P6 and P5 and P6 for the best chocolate drink is not bad.
That's it. And you and your teammate put on a good show at the end there, mate, showing there's no team orders, that's for sure.
Actually, I mean, to me, there are team orders, but when I was almost driving away from Jeff, I heard Dimitri tell him that he wasn't going to attack him so that they could catch. I'm like, wait, we're teammates. What is this? It's not fair.
Yeah, there you go. So yeah, maybe there's only team orders on one side of the garage. We don't know.
Yeah, right.
It goes. All right, mate. Well, great job out there. Good to see you have a good result after what could have been a tragedy at the start there. Looking forward to seeing you at VIR next week. Anyone who'd like to give a shout out to tonight, mate?
Well, as always, the whole community for showing up. It's very nice to have such a tight championship, and you get to a point where you actually get people thinking about the championship. So I think we saw this a bit tonight with people not taking too many risks. And it's just nice overall to have this sort of community. So big thanks to you for the idea and just making this all possible.
Yeah, beautiful. Thanks, mate. That's why we're here. We do it. It's by the community, for the community, and that's how we like it. So thanks again, Dario, mate. Look forward to seeing you again next week as we round this out with the big one there at VIR.
Yeah, thank you. See you next week.
There you go, Corey. Dario Frattini, of course, leading chocolate drink driver there tonight, and takes out a good strong P5 in the end.
Yeah, that's right, Alex. And it's funny that we were talking about team orders there, because I very distinctly heard over the radio in the warm-up race, multi 5-4. Of course, the Dimitri and Frattini there were cars 5 and 4, with Dimitri being car 4. So there was definitely team orders in the last race, and they finished 1-2 as cars 5 and 4. So I reckon there is a little bit of team orders there, but Dimitri likes to mix it up a bit on him, and it's a good fun seeing them out there in the Oval team colours. But they're also really good drivers, and they put in the hard yards each and every single race. and the more fighting we can get between them, the better.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of team orders, we'll bring up the second Oval Medine driver there, Mr. Dimitri Philippides. I don't know if he'll be happy with the team orders this week, mate. How'd you go out there tonight? Dimitri, you with us? Oh, I didn't bring him up. Oh, after all that, I pushed the wrong button and I didn't bring him up. There he is, Dimitri. Team orders or what? What's going on?
I mean, the door was open, so I thought I just passed, but then I didn't really defend. I mean, same as in the warm-up race. I just let him back through, right? I wasn't really. Would have been a bit embarrassing to crash into him. So.
Yeah, well, you don't want to do that to your team, mate.
No,
but
exactly right. Yep.
Yeah, that's it, mate. But a strong P6 there tonight. It's where you qualified. I'm sure you would have liked to move forward, but it's very tough to get it done here.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I was fourth car in the draft, so I was keeping up with the three in front. It was almost impossible to pass them. That's why when Dario made the small mistake on the last lap, I thought finally I can make something happen. But it's still a good result, 6, right?
Yeah, that's right. And certainly the garage, or the battle in the garage, will be continuing, no doubt, next week at Virginia. And we look forward.
So.
Yeah, we look forward to seeing you then, mate. Anyone like to give a shout out to tonight?
Well, Dario, my teammate of a new team, and you guys, of course. I mean, I don't think anyone realizes how tough this race is. You know, you have good pace all week, but the nerves really come out in this SNL race. You know, I shake at the beginning of the race. You know, just to tell you how much I look forward to this race. I'm literally shaking for the first 2 laps.
Yeah, that's
so anyway,
it.
Thanks, guys, for organising this. It's a great show.
No, I appreciate it, mate. And I was saying to Dario, you know, it's that sort of experience as to why we do it. The fact that we can put just a little bit extra here on a Sunday night and give people that thrill and excitement of a bit closer to that real racing experience is what we're all here for. So congratulations again, mate. Look forward to seeing how you round out the season next week. Thanks,
mate. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Corey. Cheers.
There you go, Corey. Dimitri, I got him up here eventually. But he another insight into what it's like being in the cockpit here on a Sunday night. I'm going to tell you, there's no bigger satisfaction than hearing that sort of stuff when people get the excitement to the point of having the jitters and the nerves about competing against some of the best in the world.
Well, as we say, Alex, any driver who makes it into this top split field has a chance of winning any other day of the week. But it's when it comes down to the Sunday night where it's all the best of the best that, it really shakes you up a little bit. And, the excitement is always there. The butterflies are in the tummy. But there's nothing compared to racing against the best that we can throw together on a Sunday night. And I reckon Dimitri definitely put a little bit of extra insight onto it there on what it's actually like to race in the top split here with us. Because it's definitely an experience upon itself.
Yeah, that's it, mate. That's it, and that's why we do it each and every week. Speaking of each and every week, mate, do you want to tell us what you got coming up next week?
So this week is a little bit of a fun week. Tomorrow I'm going to be doing a lot of video editing, but we've got maybe some Valorant on Tuesday and Thursday. We've got the Output Racing League on Wednesday, which will start at about 12:25. Western Australian time, that's GMT +8, over on the Aussie Sim Commentator channel. And we're going to be doing the Gladiator 150 from the Las Vegas Motor Speedway, which will always be fun. The setups last season were absolutely loose. The cars were on edge, and it was a lot of great excitement. And we're hoping for the same again on this Wednesday. And then on Saturday, I'll be at the Pinjar Park Raceway as we got the Outlaw Karts double feature night, and that will of course be live on the Speedway Memes Facebook page, brought to you by myself, and that's going to be a cracking night of racing as well, Alex.
Yeah, beautiful. And of course we'll be back here next week, ready for the grand finale. But of course, check us out, this and all the other race replays of the 30 seasons of Monday and Sunday Night Lights on the Top Split YouTube channel. We will be here back next week on Top Split TV, here on Twitch at 9:15 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time, GMT +11 at the moment, for the grand finale of season 30. But make sure you also join us in the Discord community, which is where you'll find all the news and views and latest things about this fantastic series that we all know and love so much. But for now, folks, and until next week, where we round the big one out at Virginia International Raceway, which we're really looking forward to, the updated scan there's really changed how the racing should take place, and I know all the drivers will be looking forward to it, to rounding out and seeing how this tightly contested championship finishes. But for tonight, folks, and on behalf of the chaotic one himself, Mr. Corey Steinhauser, I'm Alex McKellar. Thank you for joining us both on track and off. Your support is genuinely appreciated. Until next time, I will say ciao for now.